Hello there friends, CS News Live here. In today's video, Falcons and S1MPLE found a bug before the major, Monacy struggles in China, Faceit TO announcement, details and launch, and the final results of the RMRs, plus tons of other exciting news from the world of CS2 and even roster shuffles, so without further ado, let's get straight to it. And I think we shall kick off today's episode with the latest updates for the Valve and HLTV rankings, because it's kinda important before the RMRs. Starting with the HLTV, the biggest climbers were Passion UA, who skyrocketed 24 spots, and Gamer Legion, who moved up by 14 positions. On the downside, Bait saw the steepest drop, falling 6 places. Among the top 10 teams, the only change was Eternal Fire swapping places with Furia, while the rest of the rankings remained unchanged. While the Valve ranking update is far more critical, as it determines a team's placement in the major. Like literally whether they start in the Challengers stage or go straight to the Legends stage. So the top spots largely stayed the same, but teams like BIG, 3D Max, Gamer Legion and Wildcard climbed higher. However, BIG will still have to compete in the opening stage. Here's an interesting thing, Wildcard and Navi Javelins are currently ranked higher than Team Falcons in Valve's rankings. My guys, it seems that Nico has a challenging road ahead to bring Falcons back to the top. Speaking of Falcons, we couldn't miss an interesting story shared by S1MPLE. Just before the major, Magisk discovered a peculiar bug that allowed players to see through smokes. It could be done using the lowest graphics settings. The bug was immediately reported to Valve and Perfect World, and the Chinese organizer quickly notified all the tournament participants in a group chat about it. Interestingly, none of the teams asked how the bug worked or tried to exploit it. Thankfully, within 6 or 7 hours, Valve released an update that fixed everything. However, nobody mentioned that this bug was discovered by Magisk or any other players from Falcons. And precisely because of this, S1MPLE requested that we share his words on Twitter, and of course we obliged. I mean, how couldn't we? So my friends, if you don't want to miss any huge news like this for example, be sure to follow us on Twitter. The link is in the description, as always. And now my friends, let's move to the biggest topic of this week. Let's start with this one. So in the recent days, Faceit has been making bold moves, most notably removing a significant number of players from the FPL. Among those affected are notable names like Perfecto, Bimas, Get Right, Guardian, Canny, Boros, Hooksy, Scream and many others. And according to Bimas, this decision stems from 2 main reasons. Some of the players' teams are no longer in the top 35, while others are simply benched by top-tier orgs. Which is honestly not cool, because if a player is not playing CS professionally, what should he do besides playing FPL? I mean, yeah, obviously, maybe he should find a team, but what if a contract is so strict that he just can't do it? Guys, what's your take on this? Are these FPL cleanups among pro players the right decision, or do you think it must be a mistake? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, now let's move to the main piece of news, the Faceit TO announcement. First of all, the developers held a live stream to showcase the new features coming to their platform. Here are the highlights of the announcement. Return of ELO-based matchmaking for Faceit Premium. Matches will now be rated with a 30 ELO system for wins and losses. You get 30 and you lose 30. New Veteran system. This feature matches players with others who have a similar number of matches played, aiming to improve balance and fairness. Detailed player statistics. As many leaks suggested, Faceit now includes detailed statistics, just like HLTV profiles, providing deeper insights into player performance. Party Finder, a new system to help players find teammates for ranked games, making it easier to form competitive squads. Smurf detection and anti-cheat improvements. The updated anti-cheat system will use AI to detect Smurfs. If a player is suspected of having multiple accounts, they will need to pass a verification process within 48 hours. Failing to verify verify will result in a ban and a wholly revamped FPL. FPL queues will now open at specific times. The first season of the new FPL will run until the 26th of March. Players can now qualify weekly, but they will only remain in FPL for 1 week unless they secure a spot in the top 10. The first place prize is set at $50,000, with the total prize pool amounting to $200,000. And all these updates aim to make the platform more engaging and fair for all users. Once again, my friends, the new Faceit 2.0 is already live and ready to play. If you have already tried it, share your thoughts about the update in the comments below. Like, do you like it? Is it better now? Do you see smurfs or cheaters in the game and all that? Let's see what people think about it. And now, my friends, let's discuss the results of the RMRs. I advise you to watch our previous very long video because we discussed the whole A group and partially Group B. But here right now we will discuss Group B in more detail and memorable moments. It's quite fun to see that the 3-0s are BIG and 3D Max, who were obviously the underdogs, so it's kinda cool, even despite Valve's recent rules update. Among other underdogs, Sashi also left a mark, performing incredibly well on Inferno, but unfortunately they lost their decisive match against Virtus.Pro, basically allowing VP to mount a comeback. Also, we had a crazy match between Team Spirit and G2, which the Dragons lost, finding themselves on the brink of elimination. However, the biggest sensation of the whole RMRs was undoubtedly Passion UA. The team entered the tournament as clear underdogs, the last team to be going to the main stage, especially with their first match being against Virtus.Pro. And to the surprise of many, the Bears didn't pose much of a problem, and Passion UA, under the guidance of the legendary Kane, advanced further. Their next opponent was even stronger, Team Spirit, and here Passion UA showcased their full potential, winning the match without the need for overtimes. So yeah, Passion UA went to 2-0 against the strongest Eastern European teams. Still, after this initial victories, Passion UA hit a rough patch. First, they faced BIG, where they dominated the first map, but then lost the next two, marking their first defeat and dropping to a 2-1. Next, they faced Heroic, once again winning the first map, but losing the next two with a 13-7 scoreline. And it was 2-2 for them, on the brink of elimination. And guys, can you imagine, in their final match, Passion UA faced Astralis? It couldn't be worse. On paper. Here, unlike the Ukrainians, Astralis started with a no-2. Even with the roster change, the Danes attempted to put up a fight, and it was very close. 2 maps 13-9 and the final one 13-11. It was extraordinary, dramatic, but they secured their spot at the major, while Astralis is left with nothing.
Will have its fairy tale ending. No one can question their run. Led by their fearless caller, Passion UA have qualified for the Perfect World Shanghai Major.
You won't see a bigger reaction than that. Astralis, their motto might be to the stars, but Passion have sent them into a black hole of 5 straight majors, not attended, and for them...
The team's main sponsor and one of its founders, Alexander Zinchenko, promised to buy everyone in the team a car if they perform well at the major. I have no idea what it means, but maybe reaching the playoffs could be considered well? But honestly, making it to the major itself is already a great thing. Additionally, there's a fun part to all this. So the team's coach, Kane, the legend of Na'Vi, revealed that his horoscope predicted the November 24th to be a lucky day for him. Precisely the day that Passion UA qualified for the major. So I guess it was written in the stars, you know? And the stars made their way for Passion UA. You read me? It's a pun intended. This day was also historically significant as it marked the first first time since 2010 that a team composed entirely of 5 Ukrainian players qualified for a major. On top of that, Passion UA is an exceptionally young team with an average age of just 19.7 years, making them the youngest participants in this major. Their success can be attributed to the work of Kane and Fear, who dedicated themselves fully to the roster, sharing their invaluable experience with the younger players. It was also revealed that Passion UA had played the most matches of any team leading up to the major, constantly analyzing the gameplay of top teams. You know, they literally clashed with cheaters on all kinds of online tournaments. They basically went through hell. It seemed like most of the top teams just overlooked Passion UA, dismissing them as a tier 2 squad, which worked to the Ukrainians' advantage. Passion UA's incredible adaptability allowed them to adjust to various playstyles while maintaining their own strategy. Thanks to this, they've earned their spot at the major, and there they will be ready to show what they're capable of. By the way, it will be hard enough to buy out young talents from Passion UA because the players recently have extended their contracts for 3 years. Speaking of the other teams at the RMRs, Bait and Parivision had the weakest performances. Other teams that dropped from the tournament are TSM, Aurora, and surprisingly, Eternal Fire. The Turkish squad, to be honest, shocked everyone. Many had considered them favorites for this qualifiers because of their pre-major run, a lot of tournaments won and all that. Centaurus had a crazy shape. So, my friends, I have no idea honestly what happened to Eternal Fire. Maybe opponents were uncomfortable, who could easily counter the Turkish team. Maybe the nerves, maybe they were sick or something. I have no idea, but you can always share your thoughts in the comments below. And the final teams to be eliminated were 9 Pandas, Astralis as we already know, Sashi, and Ninjas in Pyjamas. The Swedish Ninjas surprised many, to be honest, by putting up a decent fight against their opponents, even though they were seen as a weaker team coming into the tournament. And another surprising storyline was Team Spirit. As they started the tournament strong, they then ran into trouble midway, leaving them on the brink of elimination. Fans hope that Spirit can overcome their struggles and perform at their peak during the major. And my friends, one of the most surprising underperformers was Monacy, of the whole RMRs. To the surprises of many, Ilya has been playing below expectations, barely maintaining a 1.0. Most of the heavy lifting on the map was about his teammates, especially Nico and Hunter, who have been delivering stellar performances, to be honest. But as for Monacy, he has taken a back seat, and there are possible reasons for it. On one hand, it might be connected to the recent public breakup with his now ex-girlfriend. We talked about it in the previous videos, you can watch. On the other hand, the nerves and pressure of such an important tournament combined with the anticipation for future changes could be affecting. Ilya himself wrote that he is just sick and he has high temperature. Fans just hope that Ilya will return to the previous form by the time the main stage begins. And we wish Ilya the best of luck and to get well soon. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like because we will be definitely covering the main stage. And closing to the end of the video, we will talk about roster changes because they are already happening. It's not even the main stage yet, but we already have something new. Obviously, since there are some teams already dropping out of the major, we have new free agents, let's say. And we will start with the BB team because Chiron and Nafani are on the transfer list, officially. Notably, both were key members of the team. Still, the rumors of changes in this lineup had been circulating for some time. For example, during the RMR, footage suggested that the team was not being led by Nafani as their captain, but rather by Magno Jazz. There also been some talks of conflicts between players and the coach, so I guess it was kinda logical. Anyways, Aurora may also undergo changes, with Deco potentially leaving the team. His spot could be filled by Grix from the Academy roster, one of the main prospects for 2025, by the way. If you want to see our video about the main prospects of 2025, the young green talents, don't forget to leave a comment below so we could know what to do next. And also, changes are rumored for 9 Pandas, since we're talking about Eastern European region, but no specific details yet. But guys, roster changes aren't limited to the Eastern European region, as Nivera has announced that he's actively looking for a new team and he's ready to join a competitive roster. Previously, Nivera was a part of Revenant, where he played under NBK's leadership. Before that, Scream's brother spent some time in Valorant, but he originally gained recognition during his time with Vitality, where he consistently delivered strong performances. In his Twitter statement, Nivera thanked his former team and expressed his readiness to return to professional play at the highest level. Fans are already eagerly anticipating his comeback and speculating about which team he might join next. And that's all for today, my friends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow the channel, hit the like button and leave a comment below because it helps to develop us a lot. We will be covering the Shanghai Major as always. I'm not saying goodbye for a long time. See you soon.